Let's do it. Love that camera work. Big shout out to our production team here. I know I keep saying that, but really they're working so hard to make these events the best they could possibly be. Both our players have finished looking through the deck lists, and I believe that Ross has been sent the list and is having a little look through. Anything interesting in there that you can see, Ross?
Oh, I'm afraid I'm not there yet. I've literally just had a first little bit of a look.
No worries.
Right now I'm looking at Pierre on 48 points and Riccardo on 47. That 1 point difference means that in this crucial top 8 game, Pierre is going to be able to choose whether to go first or second. I think there's a decent chance we'll choose to go first.
Super interesting list here, Ross. So I was having this conversation earlier about the different variants of Steel Song lists, and a lot of them traditionally have been running those Sleepy's Flutes that give you fantastic reach for lore. No copies of Sleepy's Flute at all in this particular deck. Instead, we're seeing 3 copies of that Golden Harp, which is a 1-cost inkable, 1/4 quest for 2. But if you didn't play a song at the end during your turn, then it's banished at the end of your turn. But a lot of players suddenly enjoying this, and we see the Aerial Sonic Warrior in Riccardo's hand, which, if you're not facing Ruby, is really hard to remove.
Yeah, it really is very hard to get rid of. There's a couple of Perdita in the list as well.
Yes.
It's a card we see in these lists, don't get me wrong, but it is not ubiquitous. It's not something we see in every list. I don't know if I've casted a game yet at these 2 events where we've seen it hit the table. We do see Lawrence in the steel, the steel... Sapphire Steel.
Sapphire Steel players
Sapphire
list.
Steel, yeah, we do see Lawrence, which is not that unusual, but really picking up steam, that particular card. And
I think I've got 2 Steel Amber lists in front of me here.
yeah, I think one of these might not be the...
Yeah, we may have been sent one of the wrong lists, so that information about Flute might be wrong, but nonetheless, we saw the Golden Heart being inked, down come the Cinderella Ballroom Sensation for Pierre. Inked by Riccardo, down comes the 1-drop Queen, and we pass back over to Pierre.
Yeah, we confirm Steel Amber with Pierre here. Mr. Smee comes down on turn 2, and it looks like we're singing Strength of a Raging Fire, which is going to get rid of that Queen, I believe.
Yep, so we are a Steel Song mirror match, which I thought there was only 1 Steel Song left in the bracket. Apparently that was wrong. So yeah, a Steel Mirror, and we see the Pooh Pirate Captain coming down on turn 2. Really aggressive character, will quest for 3 if there are 2 other characters on board. Going to be super interesting to see how these players maneuver this mirror match. But yes, it seems like we do have the right list, but it's a Steel Song mirror. We thought it was Steel Song versus Sapphire Steel. So Riccardo is running those Sleepy's Flutes, but we're not seeing the Sleepy's Flutes from Pierre. So that is a big difference in how you build this deck.
Yeah, we're going to see 2 wildly different builds here, but we're still going to see a lot of the same stuff. We got the Piglet down on the board.
The Baritone Bully. Sorry to cut you off, Ross. I'm a big fan of this villain. 3-cost inkable, 3/3 with Singer 5. Super interesting, but it hits the inkwell. We exert 3, and down comes the Spectacular Singer.
Yeah, we got a 3-cost card that can sing a 5-cost song, which makes a big difference. Lets you play these cards not only without paying any ink, but also faster than you should be able to. They're slightly lower statted so that they can have that great singer combination as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And this Cinderella Ballroom Sensation is threatening things like Storm Rage On and Strength for a Raging Fire always. That's something that Riccardo's going to have to be on the lookout for. We're inking a Robin Hood, the 1-drop. We're going to be exerting 4, and down comes the Gifted with Healing Rapunzel, that alternate art. You could win yourself one of these if you come to a Disney Lorcana challenge. You get the foil 1 for coming in top 16. Is it the foil? I think that's the non-foil version. I believe
it's non-foil from the prize rule, but it still looks beautiful.
Beautiful.
Riccardo here has drawn for turn, is inking the Shift Queen. That means 4 ink available, and 3 of them are being eyed up here.
Yep, looks that way. And we're going to put down another Aerial Spectacular Singer. Look at the top 4 cards of the deck. We fight to grab your swords. That's going to immediately be added to the hand. And the rest of the cards are going to go to the bottom of the deck. Man, that Rapunzel really stands out on the board, right?
And I think we are actually singing it immediately to get rid of the Mr. Smee.
Sounds good.
And with 2 other characters available, Piglet, Pooh Pirate Captain will quest for free lore.
And is now perfectly safe because this Rapunzel only has 1 strength. Of course, there could be a something like a let the storm rage on or whatever to remove it, but for challenges, this piglet is safe and could potentially quest for 3 again next turn.
No.
Let's see. Well, potentially not anymore. That storm rage on, Pierre knowing that would have been just far too much quest pressure, just paying 3 for storm, get that piglet off of the board.
Had to be done. Get the piglet off the board with a let the storm rage on, because any character that quests for free lore, you have to get rid of him as soon as possible. That is 15% of your total. You cannot let them have it. And we see an enchanted Robin Hood hitting the board here. That is a character we have seen a lot over these past couple of tournaments. One of the best cards in the game. Big threat in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, for sure. Being able to shift on turn 3 and just a really nice stat line. We do see the Sleepy's Flute coming down from Riccardo. The first one is down. We're going to be singing Let the Storm Rage On with Ariel, putting 2 damage on the Rapunzel. We put down a second Sleepy's Flute and a second Let the Storm Rage On to take off this Rapunzel, and then these 2 flutes will be exerting for 2 lore. Great turn, Ross.
Yeah, Riccardo doing everything in 2s that turn, and it worked out beautifully. We see Ariel hitting the ink. Well, you couldn't put a 3rd Ariel down. No. We work in 2s here. 2 Ariel to sing 2 Let the Storm Rage On, so 2 Sleepy's Flute can get 2 lore. But with those 2 established, Pierre, do we see things like Aladdin or anything now which can remove these items?
No, not that I'm seeing.
Not don't generally see them in Steel Song decks.
No, generally Aladdin is great for Bucky matchups, because just being a 3-drop Floodborn, the ability is good as an extra, but I don't think you'd play it just for that.
That's my inkling. So along came Zeus, came and got rid of the Ariel, and my point I'm making is, I don't think those Sleepy's Flutes are going anywhere.
I don't either, Ross, but it's shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, Princess, would you like a new card hand of 7? Which is exactly what happens as Riccardo plays a whole new world, filling up both players' hands, and now he's going to have a little bit of ink to still extend. We're putting down a Cinderella, Ballroom Sensation. Not a lot of ink, but at least we can get that down. And I believe we're passing back up to Pierre, who's going to ready, set, draw.
But when you play that, when you play the one song, you can activate, I believe, both your Sleepy's Flutes off the same song, because they both just say, if you play the song,
you are right.
Play one song, get 2 lore, probably for the rest of the game. And yeah, we might be seeing why the Sleepy's Flute version, at least in this first game, I do think is given a big advantage, mostly because Riccardo got 2 of them down really early in the game. Oh, but it is the bare necessities of life. They will come to you, and what's going to come to Pierre here is going to be a non-character card. We've got Let the Storm Rage On, we've got Sleepy's Flute. I believe they're the 2 options.
Does get rid of that Let the Storm Rage On. Could have got rid of the flute there, which I imagine was a temptation, but at the same time, flute is just gaining you lore. Storm Rage On will interfere with Pierre building a board state, so I
respect. Storm Rage On, Riccardo building a board state, getting rid of that Cinderella, drawing Pierre a card.
Yep.
I am kind of obsessed with the idea that maybe Riccardo plays a 3rd Sleepy's Flute and gets free lore every time they play a song. But right now we see double Piglet Pooh Pirate Captain with a Cinderella.
That is a lot of Pooh Pirate Captain. I'm a fan. That's potentially quested. They could potentially questing for 6 next turn and 7 with the Ballroom Sensation Cinderella. Riccardo now picking up his hand. I quite like that, actually. You've had to reveal your hand to your opponent. Just leave it face up on the table until the end of the turn. Why not? Like, again, unless you would have to draw for something. But yeah, I respect that very much. Both players having a little smile to each other. Good to see. Great vibes in the room.
Yeah, we saw a 3rd Sleepy's Flute come down there from Riccardo along with the Robin Hood. So from now on, when Riccardo plays a song, there are going to be free lore being gained. That is a huge advantage, but you need to have a bit of a board as well.
Yep.
Pierre is threatening to build up too much of a board here with the Robin Hood, the Cinderella, and the 2. Oh, and an Ariel as well. And that's the thing. 3 characters, you can quest for free with Piglet, but if you can get 5 out, your opponent removes 2, and you still get to quest for free. Absolutely
right, yeah. These piglets, if they've got a lot of friends on board, they're offering a lot of pressure. This Ariel had a little dig for a song, and we see 1 copy of the Cinderella Stout-Hearted in Pierre's hand. He is running 2, and he does take that shift line. 6 ink exerted. We go into the Cinderella Stout-Hearted, and we're questing for 3, 6, 9, 11 lore, Ross.
That's quite a bit.
That's a lot of lore.
That's
a whole lot of lore. We got 17. This is the pressure now. Riccardo needs to answer this field. I'm not sure how much Steel Song can do to, like, we can definitely remove these piglets potentially if we've got the cards to do so. I can only see a Zeus in hand for Riccardo. Can't see anything now.
And the problem is Cinderella's questing for 3, Robin Hood's questing for 2.
Yep.
They are harder to get rid of.
Yep.
So Riccardo picks up his cards and Pierre takes the first game in this crucial top 8 matchup.
Yes, a huge turn there. Yeah, like I said, we could have removed the piglets, but there was no way we were getting rid of that Cinderella stout-hearted. Such an oppressive character with those 3 lore, 5/5, resist 2, and the singing sword. Whenever you sing a song, you can challenge ready characters. Really well played by Pierre, and I feel like a little bit of momentum was building up from the Sleepy's flutes, multiple on the board. There was another one in hand, but those double piglets followed by the Cinderella Stout-Hearted was enough to just close out that game quicker than you like, and our players are going to shuffle up for game 2.
When you can build a board that can quest for 11 in 1 turn, and your opponent isn't playing a deck like Ruby that can drop a Be Prepared or lots of challenges, etc., you're probably going to win the game. And that was a difference there. With those Sleepy's flute, it really seemed like Riccardo was in a very, very good position, and he was in a good position. But then we saw double piglet come down 1 turn, and then the next turn Pierre put down all the rest of those characters, and that really was the game at that point. There was no turning back.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think we're hanging on to a queen there, I think is one of the cards I saw Riccardo hanging on to, which is a great choice. Getting that shift line early, being able to sing big songs with the big queen. I like it. Pierre, a few options. He does have that 1-drop Robin Hood, which you've got to think he's going to be interested in.
And just to confirm, the Kellock is counting up, not down. That is not a technical issue. We are in top 8. We are untimed. We will be here for as long as this match takes. And, I mean, hopefully not too long. We have places to be after the tournament. Top 8, top 4, and the final are untimed. So you don't need things like early concessions. If you've got a 5% chance to win by your own estimation, just play it out. You never know. You might get lucky.
Yeah, you never know. Right, our mulligan seems to be done. Our players drawing up to 7. Can Pierre go 2-0 and progress into the top 4 of the Disney Lorcana Challenge, or is Riccardo going to pick up this dub and bring them to a game 3? We see an ink, and down comes that 1-drop queen that Riccardo held on to. A great hold. Really great character, the Floodborn Queen, as well as being a singer. That ability to manipulate strength is very, very strong. Pierre going to ink, and no turn 1 play. Interesting, because Pierre threw back 2 copies of Robin Hood.
Oh, which is not ideal. It's not. It's weird. It's not your ideal turn 1 play, but then you give up the chance of any turn 1 play. We do see the early Piglet Pooh Pirate Captain, one of the coolest cards in the game. I'm just putting it out.
Oh, I'm right there with you, Ross.
The theming, the skill, everything about this card is awesome. It's another one that doesn't work that much because your opponent will really go after it if it hits the board. Yep. But it's still an awful lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of pressure as well. We see Pierre inking his own copy of Pooh Pirate Captain. Down comes the Ursula Vanessa, 2-cost inkable, 4 willpower, which is great, really hard to get over. And of course, that Singer 4, meaning she can sing that Storm Rage on, Strength of a Raging Fire, Bare Necessities, and then along came Zeus.
Yes, absolutely. And if you sing it, that means I don't have to. Speaking of singers, here comes Ariel searching the top 4 cards of your deck for a song, but it is a...
Oh, that is not fun. But I love to see the smile from Riccardo, like little moment between the players, like, that was fun, wasn't it? But still, a nice board from Riccardo. He is able to quest with that Pooh Pirate Captain to take him up to 5 lore along with the Queen. And that Pooh Pirate Captain is safe from the Ursula Vanessa. She only has 1 strength, but I imagine that Storm Rage on may be put to work.
Yeah, we saw the Storm Rage on take out more than 1 piglet in the previous game, and I do feel like that could be the play here as well. Deals 2 damage, perfect for taking out your piglet, and you get to draw a card for your trouble as well.
Absolutely.
Actually going after the Queen here, of course. Very nice shift target is the Queen. So it's not that you want that Queen gone away, it's that you want to take away the shift ability for 2 ink.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, the Floodborn Queen is very strong. The ability to give +4 to one character and -4 to another, and she's just a great singer. So yeah, no, fair enough. There is of course also this Ariel already on board that has singer 5, so interesting choice. And I think I might have gone for the piglet, but there's a reason that Pierre's in the top 8 and not me. They absolutely know what they're doing. Let's see where they take it from here. We're inking over Ursula Vanessa, so we're at 3, and we're going to play our own Ariel Spectacular Singer, and they're just going to point each other and look for and Pierre also whiffing the songs. Nice moment between the 2 players. Pierre's like, oh, well, that evens it out, I guess.
Yeah, if both players play aerial and both players whiff, that's fine. If one player gets a perfect song and the other player whiffs, that feels bad. We do see... Is that...
I think that's
a whole new world.
Yeah, we're going to be playing a whole new world, singing with Ariel, turning her sideways, and drawing a fresh 7 cards.
Yeah, sometimes you see the foil version. If the light catches it just right, it throws you off. You're like, I think that's what it is. Like that, but it is. Both players get a new hand of 7, and we do see a Rapunzel gifted with healing, but no healing to be done, unfortunately, as it comes in. But you'll notice Riccardo's been questing quite aggressively this game.
Sure.
Going first and questing at every opportunity. We just got free from the piglet, up 8 lore to 0 right early in the game here.
Yeah, you're right, but again, we could see a game similar to last. Pierre could absolutely still crawl it back, but yeah, a point I wanted to make, Riccardo did draw into that 2 copies actually of that Floodborn Queen off of that whole new world. So the fact that Pierre used the Storm Rage on the 1-cost Queen may be potentially huge, because I think Riccardo would have absolutely taken that shift line if he had it open.
Oh, I agree. We see Mr. Smee hitting the ink here, and that's going to leave 4 ink available for Pierre to do with as he wishes, although we've changed our minds.
Yeah. Hadn't quite fully committed to it, didn't take his hand off the card. We are going to sing Let the Storm Rage On with Ursula Vanessa. We're going to get rid of that Pooh Pirate Captain. Oh, he's still not sure. Okay, he is going
into Mr. Smee now to play a Robin Hood.
And that's super nice. Opens up that shift line potentially into the Champion of Sherwood. We're going to be singing along. Oh, so we paid for Storm. Oh, no, Ariel sang Storm.
Yes.
Either way, we have the Singer 5 and the Singer 4, so we can long game Zeus. And suddenly Pierre has cleared Riccardo's board completely, but he has a full hand. I'm sure he'll be able to rebuild.
Yeah, we had Strength of a Raging Fire as well with 3 characters down. That does 3 damage. So all those characters go away. Riccardo ended his turn with 3 characters, starts his next with none. He does play that Queen, but not with shift, and that is the entire turn, passing back to Pierre here.
Yeah, a little bit passive for sure. Not exactly what Riccardo would have liked, but hey, this Queen could set up the ability to make some favorable trades with Pierre's characters. We shall see.
Yeah, always nice when you can quest and get +4 strength for one of yours, -4 strength for one of your opponents. Really how small characters take out big characters can lead to gigantic swings.
Absolutely, a second spectacular thing. Is that a second whiff? What are the odds of that? I feel right. Let me count these songs quickly. I am very intrigued. How many songs is Pierre running?
I tell you what, if you tell me how many songs are in his deck, how many songs? Well, I need to know how many he's playing. I need to know how many are remaining and how many cards are remaining in his deck, and then I'll work out the odds of it. We saw Strength of a Raging Fire take out that Shift Queen. We saw a Cinderella come down. We're questing with Ariel and with Robin Hood. So Pierre's saying, you know what, Riccardo? I see you doing all this questing. I'd like in on the fun. So Pierre now, previously no lore, now built up a big board and on the way, and has done a great job of limiting Riccardo's field here.
Yeah, 100%. So Pierre is running 19 songs, but unfortunately I don't know the exact number he's already gone through. We've seen at least 2 Storm Rage on. We've seen at least 1 Strength for Raging Fire, but that's just the discard. So not sure on the accurate number, but yeah.
And along came Zeus that got the Rapunzel.
Yeah, very true. So we have worked through a few of them, but still, a double whiff from Ariel can't feel good. We're going to ink the Rapunzel gifted with healing, and here is Ariel with her brand new hit single, A Whole New World. Both players going to discard all of their cards and draw a fresh 7, and Pierre hopefully will be able to take advantage of this, the fact that he was able to sing this song with Ariel. He has all of his ink to utilize, so hopefully this hand will be able to do a combination of controlling Riccardo's board while continuing to build his own.
Yeah, we are eyeing up, and along came Zeus, which I believe may be sung. That is taking out Robin. No, it's Storm Rage On.
Yep.
Taking out the Robin Hood. There isn't a long game Zeus, which then takes out the Rapunzel. Second time we've seen that interaction coming from Pierre. And, I mean, look, Pierre's up 1 game to 0 in this top 8 match. And we see them with, oh my goodness, that's 6 characters, 5 characters on the board, and a much better board. We are not ahead, we're 6 ink behind, but it looks like we are shifting into that Cinderella, and things are looking good for Pierre here.
Yeah, in terms of board state, we are absolutely all the way ahead. Even a grab your swords would take out the Robin Hood, but everything else lives and it does nothing to the stout-hearted Cinderella. I'm wondering how many answers Riccardo actually has to this stout-hearted Cinderella. I mean, one would be the Big Queen, who could raise the strength of something. If we raise strength to at least 7, then we could one-shot the stout-hearted.
We could. What we've done right now is Riccardo has gone, all my characters, Robin Hood, Cinderella, Mr. Smee, Piglet, let's get them all down. Big turn, next turn, if Riccardo, and still up by 4 law, won't be at the end of this turn, but is for the moment looking to try and make a comeback. But Pierre, I mean, even if you just start questing, but of course, we know that's not going to happen. This is Steel Song. Let the Storm Rage on, takes out the Piglet before it gets to do anything. And we see a smile there from Riccardo, but I've been in this position.
Yes,
as I'm sure
I recognize that smile.
Everything you do, your opponent's got a better board than you, so they can use all of their resources to just undo everything you're doing while keeping their board.
Yep, you're absolutely right. You can see it on Riccardo's face. I think he can see that this is not going his way particularly. It's not over yet. He could still bring it back. We believe in you, Riccardo, but Pierre has built an incredible board, and this stout-hearted Cinderella put in so much work. Down comes the champion Sherwood Robin Hood, shifting onto the small one. I think we're just a couple of turns away from this game being over.
Yeah, we might not be long for this game. We see so many characters down from Pierre. Only got 4 law now, but this is about to start increasing exponentially. And yeah, we see Quest of Robin Hood for 2, Request of Cinderella for 3. Now we've evened it up, and we've got a Harp questing for 2 next turn as well. There is so much to get excited about here if you're Pierre and if you're Riccardo. This is a mirror match, and the mirror is not showing you what you want to see.
Yep, 10 law on board there, Riccardo. And he just offers the fist bump, and that's it. Pierre goes on to the top 4 of the Disney Lorcana Challenge, Bolonia. Congratulations to Pierre.
Yeah, Pierre Guillemot there with a fantastic victory, and it was all about the board. In both games, it was just set up the board, and so your opponent is constantly playing catch-up. And when your opponent is playing catch-up, you can use Let the Storm Rage On, you can use Strength of Raging Fire, you can use an Elongame Zeus, stop all your opponent's characters